Hey, what's up guys? Ken here from the Retro Toy Escapades channel in Malaysia. Now, Mattel Creations dropped the news on this super exclusive KOL DARR action figure something like about 48 hours ago. I got the news here in Malaysian time about Thursday night. And actually I was on Instagram and everybody was sharing the news updates there. Axel Jimenez himself was sharing it on his page, the artwork that he did for the package. All the usual Motu guys on Instagram were sharing the news. Hell, I got in on the action too. I shared it on my page too as well. And by the way, if you guys are on the gram, do follow me there for updates, photos, commentary, stuff like that. I'm at retro_toy_escapades. So yeah, the news was really spreading like wildfire. I went to the site. Initially, I think that everybody was sharing. They kind of got the impression that this thing was supposed to be happening like in an hour's time or something like that. But actually, they had a countdown clock down there, and it was actually for 1 day. So literally, the clock started like 24 hours prior to when this thing was actually supposed to be going up for sale. Anyway, it's since sold out, okay? Big surprise, right? But yeah, I decided to do this video talking about it because I don't really have any attachment to this KOL DARR figure, but somehow I just got swept up in all the frenzy and mania to just get this thing. And yeah, let's talk about it. I can't say that I have any recollection of KOL DARR as a character. I did read up that he is supposed to have made a brief appearance on the classic cartoon, but you know, I don't actually remember anything about this character. I do, however, remember that this guy and Wanda was supposed to be part of some announcement as being part of a 2-pack, an exclusive 2-pack that Mattel Creations actually shared the news on, I think about a year ago. And I remember seeing the images of both of them online. Like going back for about a year now already. And the fact that he's now being announced, he looks pretty much like how I remembered that initial promotional image to look like, except that the new images now on the website have him in a lot more dynamic poses, you know. But yeah, this guy I think was supposed to be out like, maybe last year or something like that. He's here now. So, you know what? I never actually picked up any of the exclusives. I've been sticking mainly to just the Origins releases that have been out at normal retail. I never picked up any of the exclusives. I didn't even pick up the Triclops, the one that looks like a Christmas tree ornament or something like that. I never picked up any of those things. And I thought that maybe I'll try and see if I can get this figure picked up. So I was following the countdown clock on the website last night at the Mattel Creations site. And the point at which the figure actually became available for purchase was exactly at midnight Malaysian time. And, I was following the clock and then immediately, everything just went to zero. You clicked on the order page and suddenly it had the option to add to cart. So I immediately did that. And then I went to the checkout process. There was an issue, okay? I was stuck with an issue there because I think the bank actually prevented the transaction from going through for whatever security reason. I had to call them up. I actually had to call up the bank and to actually get the whole thing approved. And this took me the whole process took me like maybe about 10 fucking minutes, okay? And the thing was still in the cart, all right? So when I actually got the thing ready to go, I went back in and it was still available in cart, and I was actually able to complete the process. It was pretty smooth. All right, I was expecting, maybe the website to be lagging or something like that, or I couldn't load the page, but it seemed pretty smooth on my end. And then I immediately received a confirmation email stating that the order was in, and that was basically it. The whole process was completed. I couldn't believe it. I thought that it was going to be like really hard or something like that. But to their credit, somehow or the other, they managed to make the thing pretty smooth, and I was done. And I went back to making the video that I was working on last night that I actually put out after midnight as well. I went back to working on that, and then it was like maybe about 40 minutes later, I just thought to myself, hey, I just wanted to see what the activity was like on this thing, if the thing was actually still listed as available. And that's when I saw that it was listed as sold out on the website. Okay, at this point, it was actually 12:40 midnight at my time. It may have been sold out for a while then already, but it's just that by the time I went back to the site, it was 12:40. So yeah, I guess it was performing as how you'd expect an exclusive to perform, right? If it was available for like maybe 2 to 3 hours, I guess you start to wonder if interest in the line was waning. But it's sold out pretty much in about half an hour, I suppose. And it's interesting because on the site, when you order the figure, it says that the customer is limited to 5 figures per customer. And I kind of felt to myself that that's kind of a lot, isn't it? I mean, 5 figures per customer is pretty much just opening the floodgates for scalpers, all right, to take advantage of the situation, because I don't really think that there's any situation where, I mean, maybe you're buying for a couple of friends, fair enough, all right, maybe you managed to get into the system and you need to buy this thing for a couple of friends of yours. But more often than not, it's just a situation where people are just hoarding up the figure to be resold, as I'm sure eBay will prove us correct. KOL DARR to me as a figure looks about as basic as a Motu figure can get. He's basically in the category of figures like Zodak, guys like that, because it doesn't come with any additional gimmicks of any kind. There's a lot of reuse here. He's got Fisto's sword, Ram Man's axe. I would have liked if there were some original accessories to go with the figure. The outfit is pretty uninspiring. He looks like a giant yellow carnation or something like that. I mean, there's just nothing vibrant happening with that costume of his. The helmet's pretty cool though. I mean, with the horns and everything, the helmet's pretty cool. The beard, all right, the beard is definitely rocking it. On the Mattel Creations website, the KOL DARR figure offering is described as a deep cut from the classics. I mean, what does that mean? A deep cut in the budget, all right? Because it sure looks like they cut a lot of corners here. There's some pretty stylistic marketing wording there. It says here, while he only appeared in one episode, KOL DARR makes for an imposing figure in your Motu collection. Imposing how? I mean, the guy's like about the same size as everybody else. And spotting the classic look from his cartoon debut, this figure features detailed gauntlets and a new belt design to look more in line with other Motu Origins figures. This is interesting because they kind of like use some very professional wording here to gloss over the fact that if you were to look at KOL DARR's actual design from the cartoon, he's got a totally different belt design, but they decided to just go on the cheap here and just use the same belt design that you find, the same belt buckle design that's on all the other Motu heroes. The thing that's really winning me over here is the chance to own one of these Motu exclusives that come in the brown mailer boxes that have got new artwork on the front and on the back. Okay, I mean, it's just a box, okay, but it's still fun to have something like that, right? Those brown mailer boxes with the artwork on it. Yeah, it's pretty cool, right? The other thing with the single carded exclusives is that the back of the package has got all new artwork that takes up the entire card back. All right, it's not like a situation like with the regular releases where you have half of the cross sell on the package. This was just full on artwork, and just it's stunning. It's just great to have this in your collection. But probably the main draw for me was the chance to have this exclusive mini comic that comes with this package. And I may be wrong here, but I don't recall any other Mattel Creations exclusive Motu figure coming with a special mini comic, like an all new mini comic. And this is like a mini comic that doesn't appear to be available with any other assortment. All right, so it seems like it's only available with this particular figure. I got to get all the mini comics, right? Also, having said that, looking at the mini comic here, the cover that they provided here, the artwork kind of looks less, high grade as maybe some of the art that's on the other mini comics, especially from the cover alone. It looks a little bit, it just looks a little bit not so refined, okay, as some of the other books that we've seen. But, it's still something that, we absolutely do need in our collection. Okay guys, so that's the video. Let me know what you think of him in the comments. Let me know what you think of KOL DARR, the latest Mattel Creations exclusive Motu offering. Let me know if you managed to actually get him on pre-order, if you were actually interested to get him to begin with, and if you successfully managed to grab him when he was out for pre-order yesterday. And I'll catch up with you guys again real soon with more content. Thank you and take care out there.